Hello, hello, hello.
Hey guys, welcome back
to another MSI Insider live stream.
Yes, today.
Ralph, they cannot see yet who we are.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Boom.
Yeah! There we go.
Today we are continuing our Hogwarts Legacy journey.
Yes.
And
as you can see, Peter disappeared, so now I have Ralph as my... How do you call that in Harry Potter? No, like when you have like a minion?
What, me and Harry Potter? That would be Voldemort.
So you're my Voldemort today.
I'm your Voldemort, yes. I look like him the most, from any character,
nice.
I think.
So welcome. It's going to be a little bit different than last week, because last week, of course, we also played Hogwarts Legacy, but then we did it on totally top-end flagship hardware. So we were playing on the new Trident X2 gaming desktop with a 13900 KF CPU and a GeForce RTX 4090 graphics card. So basically the fastest gaming rig you can get nowadays. Today we're going to do it a bit different, also because we know that most of you mortals don't have a system like that.
You muggles.
So today we're going to play it on a little bit more modest hardware. I have a mid-range gaming rig in front of me. We will tell you a little bit more about this later, about the exact specifications. But this is, I think, like comparable to what a lot of people will have at home. We're going to look a little bit into how to optimize your game. So we're going to try out some different settings and see what it does with the frame rate, what has big effects, what has almost no effect. And that way we'll try to find ideal settings to play Hogwarts Legacy in.
Yes.
But before we go into that, let me first announce you our giveaway, because we have a very nice Steam wallet code giveaway. If you want to buy Hogwarts Legacy, it can be a very nice discount to your game. So make sure to participate. Either go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can also follow the direct link that our bot will put in the chat once every 5 minutes. Throughout the stream, we'll have several drawings. You only have to sign up once, and you will automatically be enrolled in multiple drawings throughout the stream. So make sure to participate. Also, before we go into this specific system, the benefit about having a second live stream about Hogwarts Legacy, now it's of course 1 week later, last week was still in early access, and now there is a lot more to be found on the internet also in terms of performance. And actually I borrowed some information from our friends from Down Under at Hardware Unboxed. And they tested a lot of different graphics cards in Hogwarts Legacy, so we can go through some different resolutions with and without ray tracing to see what you can expect of maybe the graphics card you're using at home or the graphics card you may be considering to buy. So let's maybe first take a look at that, Ralph.
Sure. There we go.
They tested a lot of cards, so really props to Hardware Unboxed, because this must have taken a lot of time to put together. Starting with lower resolution, well, 1080p. I think it's probably the minimum that most people play games in nowadays. Of course, yes. You can go lower if your hardware really cannot keep up, but nowadays it's hard to find a monitor that has a lower resolution than 1080p.
Yeah. Maybe it's also important to notice that this was tested on an AMD CPU, right?
Yeah, so their test system, I believe, had a Ryzen 7 7700X, so the latest generation AMD. But indeed, sometimes you can see slight differences if you combine AMD with AMD or AMD with NVIDIA. Of course, you can combine them properly, but sometimes the CPU bottleneck gets slightly shifted. Starting off with 1080p, this is in medium settings, so more modest settings, but with TAA, anti-aliasing at a high setting. And you see that actually the AMD cards are doing really well here. Yeah, right here, it's more of a CPU bottleneck that you're measuring than actually the performance of the graphics card, so it's quite hard to draw conclusions here. But all these cards are comfortably over 100 FPS. Of course, here you mostly see higher end cards, but also at the bottom of the graph you already see some more mid-range cards. So we see, for example, 6650 XT from AMD, but also the 3060 Ti from NVIDIA. Looking further down the graph, still all decent frame rates with averages above 60 FPS, so still very playable, I would say. By the way, this is all without DLSS, without FSR, so this is just the pure performance you will get at 1080p medium settings with TAA high. So still all the cards you see right here, decent performance, very playable. More towards the bottom of the graph, there you see that some cards start to struggle without DLSS or FSR activated. I would say, yeah, up until like the 1660 Super still manages to get over 60 FPS on average. Below that, it's starting to get a bit, you will notice that it's not completely fluent anymore, and especially if you go like below the 5500 XT, so you go below 50 FPS on average, there I would definitely consider, for example, enabling DLSS or FSR, depending of course on the graphics card you have.
These are with DLSS settings disabled, right?
Yes,
yeah.
This is just the pure rasterization performance at that resolution without any upscale technologies.
Yeah.
Then looking at 1440p, so higher resolution, again without FSR, without DLSS. Still AMD doing really well, also the high-end NVIDIA cards, of course. It's the CPU bottleneck rather than the GPU still at this point. That's also why they're all so close together, even though sometimes the actual performance differs way more on those cards. These still all very playable, but you already see that the frame rates get a little bit lower. Further down the line, I would say up to like the Intel Arc A750 and the Radeon RX 5700 and the 2060 Super, still very playable frame rates at this resolution. If you go below, maybe it starts to get a little bit choppy, and if you go below the 2060, I would say there probably try to optimize some things, use upscale technologies in order to get a better FPS and probably a better gaming experience. Further down the line, you really see that some cards really start to struggle more and more. 1060 on 1440p will probably not be a pleasant experience anymore in Hogwarts Legacy. So if you're still using one of those cards, and they were very popular back in the day, so I'm sure several of you viewers will still have a 1060. But on 1440p, it's probably time to upgrade if you want to play at that resolution. 1080p still kind of doable, I would say. Then looking at 4K, and of course this is for a select few cards that can properly render this still.
We see a lot of differences here, huh?
Yeah, because here basically you're removing the CPU bottleneck and you're heading towards a GPU bottleneck. That's why you really see the raw performance of the graphics card in this way better than what you will see in 1080p and 1440p.
A lot less AMD in the top end as well.
Yeah, it's but still AMD performing really well. So the 7900 XTX still really high, almost 100 FPS on average. 4090, the card we were using last week, still very high FPS in 4K without DLSS. But of course, this is without ray tracing enabled. All the way down to like the 6800 XT. That one still averages over 60 FPS. So not bad at all. Below, it's quite gradually you see them going lower and lower once the graphics cards get slower. Looking at the next page, this is where you really see some cards. Even the higher end ones from the previous generation now start to struggle. So 2080, 41 FPS on average won't be a pleasant experience anymore, I would say. So here for those cards, they're also not really made for 4K gaming in this era anymore, I would say. And further down the line, this is basically where where it becomes, it's like a slideshow at this point.
Yeah, this is a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, basically. Like these cards, even though some of them run perfectly fine at 1080p, 4K, like don't bother, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Velia is saying, French please, my French is very rusty. Je ne parle pas français, that's basically where it ends for me. Okay, then let's head over to ultra quality. So of course this is already a little bit heavier on 1080p, and here you also see that there is still a little bit of a CPU bottleneck for some graphics cards, I would say, but it's not at all as present as in the medium settings. These all very playable, what you see here. Of course, top of the graph, mostly higher end cards. Further down, still up until like 2060 Super still averages 60 FPS, not bad at all. So this is ultra settings, no DLSS or FSR. Below that, of course, you go below 60 FPS on average, and lower than basically the 2060, I would say becomes unpleasant to play at. Further down the line, if you're playing on one of these cards, just lower your settings a bit, because at Ultra it won't be a great experience. Then let's look at 1440p Ultra settings. You see AMD and NVIDIA neck and neck here. It's actually identical score, both on the 1% lows and the average frame rate. And here you see that I would say like up until 3060 Ti, 6750 XT, they still average 60 FPS, still very decent. Looking further down here, I would say probably lower your settings a little bit as well if you're using one of these cards, or try to maybe lower your resolution as well. And this part of the graph, again, this basically becomes unplayable, I would say. The ones on the top are okay-ish still, but if you go below 40 FPS, not a pleasant experience. And then, to make it really hard on your graphics card, 4K resolution, Ultra settings, no DLSS, no FSR, but also no ray tracing. 4090, still not bad at all. It's what we saw last week as well, averaging around 80 FPS. Still very decent. Also average above 60 FPS. Same goes, by the way, for the 7900 XTX. Slightly lower in the average with 73, but a little bit higher in the 1% lows, which is probably more noticeable, because the 1% lows, if you get like a dip, that's when you have certain starters in the game. That's, I think, what most people find most annoying. So I would say the 1% lows can be even more important than your average frame rate. Down the line, yeah, this is just hard. Like if you go below a 3090 Ti, you're already dipping below 60 FPS on average. So yeah, that you really need a very, very high-end graphics card in order to run this. Of course, if you enable DLSS or FSR, it gets a lot more playable on this resolution as well. Further down the line, also basically, if you own one of these cards, forget it to run this without on 4K without DLSS or FSR. And even further down, here we get in the slideshow zone again. PowerPoint presentation, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
Unplayable, yeah.
Yeah, unplayable. Then, this was pure rasterization performance, so no ray tracing enabled. But Hardware Unboxed also tested, of course, the cards that enable that support ray tracing. They also tested those with ray tracing in different resolutions. So also take a look. Let's also take a look at that. First in 1080p. So this is ultra quality and ray tracing also on ultra. And here you see something quite interesting. Actually, quite a few cards are still performing perfectly well, like until the 3080 Ti, still very well, 77 FPS on average. Like 6950 XT, also still very playable. Interesting here, of course, is that you see the RTX 3060 actually performing better than the 3070 and even the 3080. Because this is probably where you will end up into VRAM bottlenecks. As you can see, the cards performing well. They all have like at least 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Once you go below that, it becomes a challenge at this game. And we haven't really seen that in earlier games. So the 3080, for example, with 10 gigs of VRAM, still performed really well, also with ray tracing enabled in basically everything until now. But in Hogwarts Legacy, that's different. That's where the ray tracing really kicks in, already at 1080p resolution. So it depends a bit on what you want, which card would be the best choice for you. If you don't care about ray tracing, like the rasterization performance of that 3080 is great. But once you enable ray tracing, just look at the gap between, for example, the 3080 Ti and the 3080. It's huge, and probably has to do with the fact that the 3080 Ti has 12 gigs of VRAM and the 3080 only 10 gigs. And that's probably also why the 3060 outperforms the 3080 in this specific situation. By the way, still 3060, even though it performs better, the GPU is still not really up to the task to run this with ray tracing enabled. 43 on average and 31 minimum FPS, not a great experience, but by no means as low as what the 3080 and 3070 do in this situation. Mr. Masterok says 3060 Ti is not for 4K to begin with. No, I would definitely agree. probably 1440p is the maximum you want to do with the 3060 Ti. But the interesting thing here is that at 1080p with ray tracing, you also see it's very VRAM hungry. Then, to make it even harder on your GPU and your VRAM, 1440p ultra settings, ray tracing ultra, still 3080 Ti, 60 FPS on average, 7900 XT also very decent still, also quite decent, 1% low. Below that, it's probably not the best experience anymore, and again we see the 3060, because it has more VRAM, is outperforming 3080 and 3070 in this situation, but also the 3060 already, because of the limited GPU power, it will probably not be a great experience at these settings. And then as hard as you can make it in this game basically, so 4K resolution, TAA high, ray tracing ultra, and here you see you basically need a 4090 in order to get around 60 FPS on average. Even that one dips slightly below 1% lows, it's 47. Personally, this is also what we demonstrated last week in our live stream. If you're using a 4090, I would already enable DLSS in this situation because it gives you a lot more pleasant gaming experience. If you do DLSS quality, it still looks very decent and it really bumps your frame rate up significantly, especially if you use DLSS 3 with the frame integration, makes a big difference. So last week we've shown that with the 4090, so if you're curious about that, definitely check that out. Further down the line, yeah, like basically everything below becomes an unpleasant experience, and it becomes very, very unplayable already on like a 4070 Ti, which is like a very, very recent graphics card. Actually, the most recent one on this list. Here again, you see, actually here the average FPS of the 3080 is higher than the average FPS of the 3060. That probably has to do with the fact that the GPU is just a lot faster. But the 1% lows are twice as high on a 3060 as they are on a 3080. And that probably has to do with like certain situations where you exceed the VRAM of that graphics card, and you drop all the way down to 5 FPS in this situation. So you just have one specific bottleneck that you run into in certain situations. So maybe the average frame rate is higher, but like if your 1% lows are this low, it becomes very painful in certain scenes. So these were the benchmark results from Hardware Unboxed. Again, great job by those guys testing so many GPUs, so many different settings. Definitely check out their video as well, because they tested a lot more than what we're showing here today. Also, they tested specific scenes, so if you want to know a little bit more about that, definitely check out their video. And then let's have a look at the gaming system we're using today. So this is our gaming rig. It's located right here on this test bench. We're using an Intel Core i5-13400 CPU, so that's a 10-core CPU. It has 6 P cores and 4 E cores. The P cores have hyper-threading, the E cores don't, so that makes a total of 16 threads. CPU cooler on there is the MAG Core Liquid C240 with, of course, a 240mm radiator. For a Core i5, especially non-K, this is well beyond what you need. Even you could cool the CPU even with a 120mm radiator, so it should be fine. The motherboard is the MAG B760 Tomahawk Wi-Fi, so full ATX motherboard based on the Intel B760 chipset. Graphics card that we're using today is the GeForce RTX 3060 Ti Gaming X Trio. And this is actually a card with 8 GB of VRAM, so that's lower than what you would get on the 3060 non-Ti. We will also run some ray tracing on this, so you will also see that that's where it really kicks in for this card. But actually, as you will see later on as well, we'll do some optimization in rasterization performance. This card is very capable, even on 1440p resolution. So we will make sure that it runs smooth throughout the stream. SSD that we're using is a 1TB MSI Spatium M470. That's an NVMe M.2 SSD running on the PCI Express Gen 4x4 interface. And the power supply that we're using is an MSI MAG A650BN. So ATX power supply, 80 plus bronze certified. 650 watts, of course. It's sufficient for the system that we're using today. So it should easily handle these specifications. Then the peripherals, because of course the monitor is a very important factor here. We're using the MPG Artemis 273 CQRX QD. Ralph.
Yes.
What does all that mean?
You already touched on it a little bit, but yeah, obviously it's a good match for this VGA. It's 1440p, 240 Hz gaming monitor of the Artemis series. It's a QD, so it has the quantum dot extra layer, which gives it very nice, vibrant colors, which I think is very nice for a magical game like Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Or, sorry, Hogwarts Legacy, I should say.
Yeah, it is a Harry Potter game, but I think Harry Potter is not in the game anywhere.
He's not, no. It's actually 100 years before Harry Potter.
100 years.
The story happened, I think, yeah.
So 27 inches, 1440p.
230 Hz.
Yeah, to 240 Hz. In this game, I don't think we'll get too close to it.
Yeah.
But also for a game like this, I wouldn't say like these extreme FPSs and Hertz are very important for a game like this. That's more towards esports, for playing Rocket League, CSGO, Valorant, all those kind of games. But for Hogwarts Legacy, I would say if you have like over 100 FPS, it's very comfortable to play at for a game like this.
Yeah, most important thing here I think is resolution. It's curved. You know, it can reach the high refresh rates if you need it, if it's available. So it's an extreme version of the 27-inch CQR that we have.
And it looks very pretty with the quantum dot.
Yeah, yeah, very pretty.
Then the mouse, I'm using the Clutch GM41 lightweight wireless right now. Actually, last week we also looked into the new GM31 lightweight wireless, also a very nice mouse. This one is slightly bigger, that's the one I'll be using today. Only 74 grams. The wired version is even lighter because of course it doesn't have a battery. It's only 65 grams even. Keyboard that I'll be using is the MSI Figure GK50 low profile TKL. So TKL stands for tankless, basically meaning there is no numpad right here. So it's a little bit more compact and I can use that with my mouse sensitivity. User skill, chock white switches, so nice clicky low profile switches. And the headset I'll be using is this Immerse GH30 V2. So it's an analog headset with a 3.5mm jack and it has 40mm drivers in there. So that's today's rig.
Arsof saying, wow, 650 bronze can handle that rig? Yes, sir.
Yes. Actually the Core i5 has a TDP of 65 watts. Of course, that's based on the base clocks, so it will exceed that in certain situations, but not specifically gaming. Like the power consumption in gaming is not very extreme. Also, the 3060 Ti in terms of power consumption is not too extreme. So 650 watt for an i5 with a 3060 Ti is perfectly fine, as you will see later on. No problem at all.
Should we maybe do our first giveaway since we're half an hour?
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah. Let me draw one. So if you want to explain the giveaway to the viewers, I'll draw one.
Yes, and in the meanwhile, I will also boot up the game. So if you haven't participated in the giveaway yet, go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on either YouTube or Twitch, you can also follow the direct link that our bot will put in the chat once every 5 minutes. If you already signed up, no need to do anything anymore, because you will be automatically included in the next drawings as well, in case you don't win the first time. Oh, preparing shaders. I hope we can play before next week.
Yeah, it's struggling a little bit. Oh, what's this? I didn't even click anything.
Ralph is just ruining the system in the meanwhile.
Where is it? Where is it? Scheduled. There you go. Let's draw. Should we draw one or two? Or
let's start with one. We can spread it a little bit over the stream.
Alrighty. Drawing.
Yes, congratulations, Rom. You won the first Steam or wallet code of today. So please keep an eye out in our mailbox. Then we will email the Steam wallet code to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem it.
Congratulations. We will do more giveaways, by the way, guys.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Stream.
Okay, let's go to our game. And we're actually starting off where we ended last week. And that was inside the castle. So basically we did the tutorial part. I had the hat, I forgot the name. the one that selects in to which house you're going?
Oh, I forgot the name as well. It's a good question.
Help me out, chat. What's the name of the hat?
The name of the hat.
But I got in Ravenclaw, so that's the house I'll be in. This is my
I guessed it right, by the way, guys.
A very pretty character that we created called Puddle Model.
The sorting hat.
The sorting hat.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I already see. Paglamia new. Nice one, nice one. Growing my ass.
Sorting hat, you noobs. Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, sorry, I'm definitely not a Harry Potter expert. So also throughout the game, I will experience many things that are completely unfamiliar to me. But yeah, we're now inside Hogwarts. These are the default settings by the game. So if I open up the settings menu, so if I, and now you cannot see it, but here it says press R to reset to defaults. So if I long press this, it defaults them. Now nothing will change because these are the settings that were there by default. And of course, we're going to adjust this a little bit already. There is no like exclusive full screen mode in Hogwarts Legacy, which is quite interesting. So we're going for a windowed full screen. This is our capture card. Monitor shows here as well, but for some reason when I click it, it stays on the capture card. It actually enables DLSS by default in this situation, so it detected that I use an NVIDIA GPU. Let's maybe first take a look at the actual performance on a resolution. So I'm going to switch DLSS off for now, and I'm going to run at the full resolution, the full rendering resolution of 1440p. Anti-aliasing, let's move this to high. Later on we can also, well, let's maybe go for DLAA. So that's the NVIDIA deep learning anti-aliasing that I believe also uses the tensor cores in order to calculate the anti-aliasing. Further down, NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, we'll keep this on. Of course, we're using a relatively recent CPU as well. If you have a somewhat older CPU, this can be a little bit of a challenge. They also have like an on plus boost function for that. Further down the line, we have VSync. Of course, we don't want any VSync. VSync basically limits the FPS to the refresh rate of your monitor. We don't want to do that, so we switch that off. Frame rate is now kept at 60 FPS. Of course, we do not want that either, so we just go for uncapped. Field of view. For now, this is just based on preference. Of course, you can make this more narrow or wider, so you see more around you. But this will have an impact also on the performance you will see in games, so it can influence the FPS you're seeing, especially if you're going for a broader field of view. So for now, just for reference, we'll stay at 0, so the default field of view. Motion blur. I really cannot stand motion blur, so that's definitely going off. Depth of field, that's basically the effect what you also have when you use a camera and you have your focus. You see that like the front, for example, is what you see in the foreground is sharp and what you see in the background is a little bit blurry. That's like a depth of field effect you see. So you also, like just your vision of course, also has depth of field. Once you switch this off, you will also see the background sharp, for example. I'm going to keep this on. I think for a game like this, it looks pretty nice. It makes it a little bit more realistic in that sense, as far as you can call Hogwarts Legacy realistic, of course. And these are like filmic effects, so the chromatic aberration that has like the it basically looks as if you're filming it by a real camera lens. So I'm not going to use that for today, so I'm going to switch it off. Film grain, I think most of you will be familiar with that as well. It's like the effect as if you're watching a movie with the slight grain over it. I'm also going to switch that off. So the only one I'm keeping here is the depth of field. Of course, this is based on preference. Like if you really like motion blur, by all means, switch it on. However, if you're sensitive to motion sickness or anything like that, definitely don't switch it on. And here, of course, I'm using the 3060 Ti. I also have integrated graphics in this specific CPU, but this one is, of course, way faster, so I'm going to stick with the RTX 3060 Ti. Okay, those are the graphics settings right here, and here we have the graphics options. Also, if I long press R, it does the reset to defaults. So as you can see, for this graphics card, the game defaults it to medium settings. For now, I'm gonna start off with the highest one, so everything on Ultra, and throughout the stream, we will adjust some settings here and there to see what the difference is and what it means to your FPS. Further down the line, we also have ray tracing. This is all disabled at this point. Later on, we'll also try it enabled. But the downside is when you enable or disable ray tracing in Hogwarts Legacy, you actually have to restart the game. So first, we're going to try all the restoration things, and later on, we will also restart the game in the stream and see what this card does with ray tracing. But like you saw in the benchmarks, you already have an idea what to expect there. So summarizing the settings we're using right now, we're not using DLSS, so we're playing in native 1440p. We use NVIDIA DLAA. Of course, we remove the frame cap, and we have no motion blur, only depth of field enabled here, and ultra settings. So that's what we're gonna start with for now. But of course, this will change throughout the stream.
I see there's some people having trouble finding the link. I think Stream Elements is undergoing maintenance today, so that might be why it's not showing up the correct link. I just posted the link in chat for your reference for the giveaway again.
Yeah, I don't think that will show up on all platforms, but I think for most people it should solve their issue. I think Twitch and YouTube should be fine, but I think the other platforms are blocking links from being sent in the chat, so I'm not sure if you can also see it. Telomina says, oh, it has ray tracing. Yes, the game definitely has ray tracing. Mr. Mestock says, which GPU is it again? This is the 3060 Ti Gaming X Trio. Okay,
yeah, let's walk out the dorm
playing.
room a little bit and see how it performs.
Well, in this room, everything's still very decent, so it's like 90 to 100 FPS, depending on where I'm looking. I specifically picked a different overlay for showing our FPS and other statistics than we did last week, also because last week we got some requests if we could also show the VRAM usage, so that's what you can also see here. So you see the GPU one is of course the GPU, and the MEM one is not the RAM of the system, but it's the VRAM. Yeah, temperatures also very low at this point. Okay, let me see. I think I have to walk up the stairs.
That's just brilliant, Army. The right moment.
Leslie says the character looks like a grandpa. You think? I would be scared if my grandpa looked like this, though.
Yeah, it's a very creative choice of haircuts, yeah, for a young person.
I would say for this system, these are already without DLSS FSR, very playable settings. So I don't really know why it enabled DLSS by default and put all my settings to medium by default, because at ultra, so far it's still perfectly fine. But
is this guy stuck?
Sorry?
Is this guy stuck? What is he doing?
He's hugging some books. But yeah, of course, maybe the FPS really drops once I run outside or something like that. Arsov says, that's the character from last week? Yes, this is the character we made last week. Okay, so I have to introduce myself to some people I see.
One moment.
Let me put on my headset as well, so I can hear what they're saying.
What is this? Someone threw a dung bomb.
A dung bomb?
That wasn't quite the reaction I wanted. Oh well. Right.
By the way, in the bottom, right there, you can also see the specifications of the system that we're using today. So it cycles through all the different specs.
Hogsmeade is through test. Yes.
Yes,
we'll get to that.
Definitely. We'll try to get to Hogsmeade as well today. Should be doable. Let me see. I'm looking forward to my first day, or I'm actually a tad nervous. I'm very nervous about this.
A nervous student.
Still a bit on edge myself, and a little.
Some more questions about the GPU we're using. It's the RTX 3060 Ti Gaming X Trio.
There's no reason to be nervous. Most professors are firm but fair.
So a more mid-range card than we used last week, which was of course the RTX 4090.
Still here? Wait, did you say
it's the 3060 Ti.
Yeah.
Only fun.
Important detail.
Yeah. Yeah, because actually 3060 and 3060 Ti are quite different cards. Actually, the 3060 Ti is based off the same CPU as the 3070, but has fewer CUDA cores enabled.
How do you guys fix the graphic settings without dealing clutter and FPS drops on game and OBS? Well, we have a streaming PC. So basically it's like running a second monitor.
Yes. Oh, I have to talk to some more people.
That's not right either.
Hello, Samantha.
Nice plant.
Lovely plant.
I want him to be in the perfect place. A place he'll be happy with. But I can't seem to find it. Great golden gobstones. I want him to thrive here.
Golden gobstones.
Is it just me,
My
or
own little expression.
are her eyes not
I bought
synced?
this Dittany seedling from home and I
They're
so
looking in
wanted
different
to feel
directions
cozy.
sometimes.
Dittany is amazing, isn't
Oh,
it?
now it's okay.
So much healing power in such a little plant. I've a bit of a thing
Maybe
for
it's just
plants, as you
realism.
can see.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Pleased to meet you.
That would be very
I'm Samantha.
realistic.
Nice to meet you, Samantha. Is Dittany used in Wiggenweld potion?
It is. Looks like someone's been studying up on their potion making.
Actually, Professor Fig told me about the Wiggenweld
The
potion.
Wiggenweld
Of
potion.
course.
She was kicked by a
I
horse.
heard
Oh,
you
I'm
were
sorry, I
studying
didn't know
with
that.
him full term. He's an enigma Fig. Teaches about theory. It seems to know a lot about practical magic.
Yeah, Fig is very knowledgeable.
Professor Fig does know a great deal about.
I think the reason
different
you
forms of magic.
you
Well,
came
I
to
hope
this
he told
house
you
is
about
because
more
you
than
you were
Wiggenweld.
the
You've
curiosity
lots to catch
type,
up on, I'm sure.
and you were
Yeah, is that
about,
like-
all about learning, and I think that's what this house is about.
Okay.
Yeah. The curious, very.
Because there are
informed-
4 different options, right?
Yes. So,
So
there's
there's Ravenclaw, there is...
Hufflepuff,
Yeah?
and then Gryffindor and Slytherin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do the other ones stand for?
Oof. I think Gryffindor was for courage
It
and
was
daring.
Nice to meet you, Samantha. Good
Okay.
luck with your Dittany.
Thank you.
Hufflepuff
And good luck
is
to you
more like the
too on your
cuddly
first
type
day.
people. The softer people, basically. No, just kidding. And Slytherin is more the. It's very close to Gryffindor, actually. Slytherin.
That's just
And Ravenclaw are basically smart people, yes. Slytherin was the
Why, hello.
cunning people, basically,
Would you like to
the
take a
cunning
look?
and witty people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where was Harry Potter? Or
In
well,
Gryffindor.
Can't see
Gryffindor.
too
Yes.
much in the day.
He had the courage and
Well,
the daring.
except for stars like Sirius,
By the way,
Canopus,
don't get
Vega,
angry at
and
me,
Arcturus.
chat, for not knowing that.
Pleasure to have you in Ravenclaw. Never met someone who's been so close to a dragon before.
Can't say I'd
Fun
recommend
fact,
it.
actually,
nice
Hogwarts
to meet
was
you, Robert. I take
was
it you like astronomy.
founded by
Oh,
someone
yes.
from Slytherin.
So much to be learned
Okay.
from the stars.
I
Also,
read today.
There's something about the open air
So
and
Slytherin
night
are the
sky above
OGs.
tower.
Yes.
It's invigorating.
I think even Merlin, the
Adore
wizard,
astronomy.
they talk about
Professor
keep talking
Shaw
about in
is
game, like the
incredibly
OG
knowledgeable.
Merlin.
Okay.
He was also in Slytherin apparently.
I hope astronomy's on my schedule. Sounds interesting.
I have good news for you. You are most definitely taking
But
astronomy.
if you're a
It is
Slytherin,
required
it doesn't
for
mean
all
you're
fifth
necessarily
graders.
evil.
You will
It
be
means you're witty
enthralled
and
with the tower.
stuff.
Plus, a
They get
quality
associated
telescope
with the
can show
evil
you
a
things
lot, but
you
there's also a
never
lot of good
dreamed
students in Slytherin,
I suppose
obviously.
I'll see you in class then.
Because you
Yes.
have like the villain in
and
Harry
speaking
Potter,
of
the
class,
blonde guy.
better get
Is
my
he in
first
that one?
He's in Slytherin,
Ah,
yeah,
Like
that's
the smell
why.
of fresh
That's
cut
probably the
is it?
association people make.
Yeah.
Seeing you.
But it's just one of the houses, I guess, one of the preferences, or I don't even know how to call it. It's not a preference because you don't choose it, but it's it matches your personality.
By the way, guys, I'm waiting with changing all kinds of settings until I'm outside, because I think here everything's quite straightforward. There are also like foliage settings. They don't make any sense if you're inside, of course, because you don't have any. So let's first play a bit through the game, and then we'll check those out later.
I'll switch, yeah. And you can always go back to Hogwarts, so
Yep.
it's very easy.
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts.
I've been dreaming of this
Professor
day for a long
Weasley.
time.
Okay.
Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you
So last
are.
time you just ran through the
Make the
tutorial,
most of
right? And then
Yeah.
You
stopped,
only have
yeah.
one first day at Hogwarts. Now,
So
in
I
light
know
of your
most basic
unique
mechanics now.
situation, joining us as a fifth year,
But I think I
you'll
still
catch
need to
up
learn
with
more
your
spells and
classmates
stuff, I think.
not fall
Yeah, it's
behind.
gonna take a while.
Especially as you'll
Probably.
be expected to complete your
So one thing the game
OW
does really
exams
well
at
is
the end of the year.
basically smear out all the abilities that you can
Yes, your
that you can
ordinary
get
visiting
and
level exams.
all the skills
They
that you
will
can get
determine what type of
uh,
career you can have when you leave
throughout
here.
the
After
even
much
throughout the late
discussion
game.
with the
So
headmaster and the Department of
I
Magical
think
Education at the
you have to
Ministry,
be almost
we've
level
devised
30 or
something
maybe even more. I don't know.
extraordinary
Maybe
to
the
ensure
real
your
fans know it
success.
by heart, but you have to be quite high level to get the final
Here you are.
spell even in the game. So
What is your level at this point?
I am currently well. I'm playing together with my girlfriend, which is a weird one because we're both at the same level
Yeah.
and we keep competing. We're next to each other on the couch, but we keep competing on who's gonna play that night, and then we keep repeating the stuff alone when the other one's gone. So basically, my girlfriend is a little bit further now because we played yesterday on her account. So we have 2 accounts on level 16. So I think we could have been level 30.
And 16,
But,
how many hours is that? Approximately?
That's hard to tell because we play on 2 accounts. So I think you have to be like 5 hours in before you get some decent stuff to do in the game. Besides the introductions and stuff.
And do you watch the cutscenes or do you skip them?
Final spell is level 28. Yeah, and I think the highest level you can get is at level 40.
Okay. But Ralph, do you watch the cutscenes or do you
Yes,
skip them in the
I
game?
watch all cutscenes.
Yeah, you watch all?
Well, if my girlfriend has already played them while I was there,
Yeah, okay, then you've already
I
seen
skip
them.
them. But
I see.
initially I watch every cutscene that I haven't seen yet.
I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student.
I have fatigue syndrome, not good for puzzles, but using a notebook for the puzzles in Hogwarts. Oh, okay. Is there a lot of puzzles in there? There are a lot of puzzles in the game. Yeah.
Oh, Revelio was R. I remember that one. Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much every store, every statue, every like special place in Hogwarts has a scroll like that. And it's a good way to level up as well. It will also be added to your field guide.
So now I have a fancy new menu.
You can read about stuff and collect stuff, and then if you have them all, you get a free Pokemon. No, you get you get basically 100% on a challenge, and you can unlock new cosmetics and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty nice.
Okay, cool. Hello, Glacial Hell. Welcome. Oh, this is cool. The statue is following
Yeah,
my
it's moving.
character.
Yeah, it's a magical castle, Hogwarts. Have you not seen the movies?
I was forced to watch the first movie.
So you've seen the room with the round stairs with all the paintings in it that were moving?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been a while though since
There's
I've
a lot
seen
of stuff that moves and is alive in Hogwarts, magically.
No time to waste. You've classes.
Have you seen all of the movies?
Yes.
Okay. Did you also read the books?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a big reader. I think the only book I read was Lord of the Rings. Or
That's quite a
The
hefty
Hobbit,
book as
sorry.
well.
Huh? Yeah, so this is something you can't really get into yet because you need to find something that will tell you how to open these rooms.
Okay.
I have it on my phone. But yeah, it's a cheat sheet basically.
Good timing.
But I don't
Termina
want to
says, I
spoil
read
it
all
too
the
much.
books in Swedish and in English.
Get
Okay.
around a bit quicker. Your
And were they the
field
same in
guide
both
contains a map
languages?
of the castle. Open it up and find central.
You were forced to watch.
Yeah,
I have to say, if you watch it when you're young, and you've started watching when you were younger, Harry Potter is a lot more fun to grow up with. Because he's so young, and it's really still. I think the first movies are a little bit childlike still, if that makes sense. And the older Harry gets in the movies, the more mature the movies also get, basically. So it gets a bit more dark and more evil, and
Okay.
so it gets better. So maybe you should give it a chance, Michiel.
Yeah, maybe I should start with the later ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chronic Mayhem already read the first book
Quite the
when
time saver.
I was 11.
These stairs lead directly
Jeez,
to central
nice.
hall.
Are they very? I don't know if they're really like hard books to read or not,
You
or
can
maybe
get
they're
almost anywhere in the
they're probably not
castle
too complicated
quickly.
because a lot of
Is
kids
then also
read
the
them, right?
age restriction on the movies different when you have like the
Always
earlier
something
movies and the
happening
later
here.
ones?
I don't know
Hard to
actually.
buy.
That's a good question.
Our King's
Maybe some
Cross
fans
station,
know.
so to speak.
Is there an age restriction on the later movies because they get more evil?
That should be all
And
for
dark.
now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Okay, so Hogsmeade is the village, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
So Hogsmeade is kind of a hub in the game where you can find all the most vendors
Happily,
Um,
your professors have agreed
that you
to
can buy
create
stuff from, but also a lot of people
additional
that you can do assignments for or
You'll be
quests
up to
or
speed in
stuff
no
like that.
time.
So
Judging by
it's a
your
good place
adept
to
use of
walk around
Revelio
and explore.
earlier, I'd say
Do they
it's
also
also
have some
very-
nice bars in Hogsmeade?
showing you
Huh?
the basics.
Do they also have some nice bars?
They have
You've
some
been
bars, yes.
terribly
Yeah.
vague as to the events preceding your arrival.
Hogsmeade.
Specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
We have bars, strip clubs, everything. No strip clubs.
So I
in,
can lie to her?
in Harry Potter.
Definitely gonna do that.
Professor, that's all there is to it.
I can lie to her.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
precisely
It's
what
interesting because
Professor Fig
I think once I play through the
Speak
game,
of the
because I'm
devil,
doing like the good guy
Professor
version
Fig.
now, but once I play through the game, I'm gonna do it like an evil playthrough and just,
Yes.
you know,
seem to
like
have
annoy
provided
everyone.
our new fifth year with
See
a
how that
solid
goes.
Foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare...
The Lancashire in
aptitude for
YouTube
magic,
chat,
it
in
seems.
Castle and World, I average like 60
Well,
FPS,
just
but in
glad you
Hogsmeade it's
arrived
40.
in one piece.
Yeah, I also heard that Hogsmeade is
Perfectly good boats and
by
carriages
far
to
the
Hogwarts.
hardest
You
one
chose
to run
fly
on your
in the
PC.
path of a dragon.
So
I
let's
would
maybe
say
fiddle
I
around
chose
later on in
Dragon's
Hogsmeade a
path,
little bit
Professor.
with the settings.
Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well.
Because basically, if it
Enough chit-chat.
runs
I
fine
need
there,
to
then
get
it
to
should
class myself.
run fine.
Might I rely
in the
on
whole
you,
game,
Professor
right?
Fig, to explain the details of
Pretty
the
much.
field guide's
Yeah, I
map?
think that's one of
Of
the
course.
toughest
Thank you.
parts of the game.
Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today.
Oh, I have
and
to
I'll
attend
explain
classes?
more about those assignments I mentioned. And
Cool,
we'll
cool.
see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those
Wizarding
supplies.
class?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you really don't remember the
It's good to
movies,
see
do you?
Professor.
And you.
Me?
I was hoping
Yeah.
our paths would cross
There's a lot
today
of different kinds of
before
classes.
we
Yeah,
There's-
I know the blonde guy was the villain.
masterfully
And then you had
Professor
Harry, you
Weasley's
had the
interrogation.
Well,
guy
not
with
quite,
the
he
red
was
hair,
not-
and you had the girl.
He was a villain, not the villain.
Yeah, okay. Later on, the villain was Voldemort, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
He was more like the antagonist kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like the opposite student,
Yeah.
or the one who's probably going to be evil at some point. Yeah.
I did my best.
Annoying guy, the
But-
bully.
I'm fairly
Yeah.
certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path
So I
we've
may
embarked
encounter
upon will
Voldemort
lead.
soon.
It may
No.
require a bit more
I don't think so.
flexibility.
Hey
with your
fans,
time
I don't know,
than
like,
she would approve of.
was Voldemort
And she
already
may feel
alive like
obliged
100
to
years
share
before
details
the
with
Harry
the
Potter story?
headmaster that would be better left between
I'm not
us.
sure.
Understood, Professor.
Good.
No. Okay.
Now, as capable as you are, I
So
believe
basically
the
this
ability
whole
you possess
storyline takes place
obliges you
100
to
years
be
before the
well
Harry Potter
trained.
events.
Happily,
So,
you have the benefit of an exceptionally
Technically,
skilled
I
team
think
of witches
Voldemort
and
would not
wizards
be
to
alive
guide you.
already.
Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley,
Oh, he is in portraits.
why
Oh,
don't I show
okay.
you the
This is
clever
just as
enchantment
a
we included
Easter egg.
in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Harry killed
Okay,
Voldemort accidentally as a baby, but Harry's not alive yet, so technically Voldemort would be alive then?
Okay, so some quests are locked by spell and or level requirements. Okay, where can I see my level? In the book?
What's that, sorry?
Where can I see my level in the book as well?
Your level, if you go to start, I don't know what button that, I think escape for you. I played it on
Oh,
controller,
first I
sorry
have to
guys.
select something here.
Yeah, that's a that's a quest.
Oh,
So you can track
okay,
that
tracks
quest
me.
and then,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
The map is enchanted to help
So it's
you
just
find
like
your
navigation
way.
on my map, right?
This'll be
Yes,
incredibly
basically,
helpful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand.
Voldemort was a
You'll
student of
enjoy Mr.
Dumbledore.
Ostrander.
Dumbledore was
He's an
the good
exceptional
guy, right?
craftsman and a good friend.
Yes.
I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious rocket.
yeah, so
Focus on your classes and
Dalenka
pay
confirmed it
attention.
for us.
More than
Game
your
is
owls may need your
1890s
magic
and
you are able
Voldemort
to
was
master
born in
within these
1926, so no Voldemort.
Okay.
No Dumbledore either.
Okay, so I have my Hogwarts navigation enabled.
Yeah, so this is outside.
And you immediately see the FPS drops a little bit.
Yeah. No, this is not Hogsmeade though, but this is the grounds basically.
We're still averaging over 60, so that's okay-ish, but it definitely gets harder than inside. Let me see, where should we go? And now we're back to 80, 90 FPS.
Yeah.
To the right.
That's very true, Pandoran Grey. He says it makes sense if you incorporate the new stuff, people would get mad about lore accuracy and stuff, and this way they have more leeway to play around. So that is very logical, yes.
Is that all you've got?
So it's either way before or way after. Ooh.
This was in the first movie, right? The battle between students.
Yes. Yeah, they've had some battles.
Every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token
This is one
from
of the
great
classes.
poacher raid of 1878. No doubt
Dueling.
you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly
Yeah,
took
the
out
dueling,
the largest
indeed.
poacher ring in eastern Wales. And
I've been
lived to
dueling
boast
in
about
Quake
it.
a lot more often than in Harry Potter.
It's a little bit different. Yeah, Quake.
To the wise,
They
age
do have dragons
matters
though in
very
Quake,
little.
I think.
Today we
Right?
will review a spell
No,
that
not
has
really.
saved me from death at the hands of dark
Weird
wizards
creature.
more
Oh, no, that was
times
Doom.
than I
I'm thinking
care
about
to
Doom.
remember.
No, it's Quake. Yeah.
Levioso.
Levioso. A levitation charm?
Levioso. A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt?
Okay, so that spell basically lifts
It lifts you up.
One
Lift
thing
you up,
I've
okay.
learned
Yeah.
as an
So if you
unspeakable
can't,
is the value
only
of
people or also
simplicity,
items?
Anything.
especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice.
So you
what
can
we've
get creative
just
with it.
learned, starting with something small.
Can I try this on the teacher?
You can try. I don't know if it works. I don't think it works, but. Good job.
So now I got the spell.
Yes. Levioso. There you go.
But this is light as a feather.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
There's your answer, Michiel. Let's try something larger. A dummy.
Let us begin with the basic cast.
Okay, let me see. Okay, basic cast is this.
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent.
Okay, so that's now at
Now,
2.
the basic cast. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I can do this.
Basically, basic casts are
Very
unlimited,
but
and
the
all
best
the
way
other
to
skills
practice
or
is
spells
by
have a
duel.
cooldown.
We'll start with you two.
Also, your enemies might have shields in a specific color, and it also corresponds with the color that your spell is in. So in this case, it's a control spell, it's yellow.
Basic cast and
If they have a
protect.
yellow shield, you need
You may
to
begin.
break the shield with a control spell. That's the only way you can hit them.
Okay. So now I have to kick his ass.
Yeah.
Oh
and
wait,
you-
I have to lift him.
Yeah,
Here, there
there
you
you
go.
go. Pew pew pew.
Straightforward students for this adept. I do join my duel.
Yeah, and that's another mechanic. There you go. You already figured it out.
Yeah, I learned that one in the tutorial, the Protego thing.
Yeah.
Try to anticipate your
Stupefy, I
opponent's
think it's
next
called,
move.
or not? Yeah.
There he goes.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
When I play, I'm gonna make Voldemort look like Gandhi.
I put
Choosing
you
the
on
evil
spot,
path, eh?
and you rose to the challenge. Points to Ravenclaw.
Thank you, Professor Heckert. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
Oh yeah,
If
you
what
have
I've
the
seen
points
today
thing,
is
right,
any
between the
indication,
different houses?
we can expect great
Yeah,
things from you.
I don't think, does it ever get used,
Excellence
chat,
from my students.
in the
They
movies?
are capable
Because
of
it's always
achievement.
like, Gryffindor gets
And
the points,
they
because they
must
always do the good
achieve.
stuff, but
A classroom duel
I don't
is
think the
one
points
thing, but
serve a
battling
purpose, do
dark
they?
wizards, or as ever more likely,
Captain
goblins,
Smokes says, where can I get the
is a
specs? You can
different
actually see them in
kettle of
the bottom
Gryffindors
visual, like in between the name
entirely.
tags. It's
Understood,
cycling through the
Professor.
specifications of the system
I'd
that we're
advise you
using.
to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall
Oh
reach
yeah,
out
at the end of the
soon with
school year, the
additional
winning house
assignments.
wins the house cup. Okay.
All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is just
Nice work.
And it's a group
I
effort.
enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something.
But Harry Potter
Everyone
saves the
was
world,
talking
so that's
about
good.
it.
He
It
gets
was certainly
unlimited
good
points, right?
Practice.
So this
Felt
guy's
more
from a
like I was
different house,
doing
right?
an
Because he has the green instead
Yeah,
of the
he's from
Sebastian Sallow,
Slytherin
by the
in
way.
this case.
Didn't expect a new student to be so deaf.
So he's a naughty boy.
Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
Or another
It was my
student. You don't know if
first
he's
duel.
naughty
In
yet,
fact, it was.
but he might be.
Perhaps I have a knack
You know,
for
he's
it.
witty
Be
at
coy
least,
if you like,
probably.
but I know better. Magic requires intention.
It's
and
funny. Imagine in real life
You know,
having to wear a
might be
certain color of
perfect
clothing
fit for a
that
certain
will match your
exclusive,
personality. That would be
unsanctioned dueling organization.
weird.
Sounds very intriguing.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count
Yeah.
me in.
Are your
Excellent.
eyebrows pink?
Knew I was right about
Yes, they are.
you. If you want to get the most out
Right.
of your
Do you
time
like
at
it?
Hogwarts,
I'm not gonna.
you'll continue to
I'm not
break
gonna
the rules
touch on
down there. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian.
I'm a
I'll
witch,
keep
by
that
the
in
way,
mind.
not a wizard.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps
Did
somewhere
someone say otherwise?
unsanctioned. We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill.
Yeah, but you could
Look
pick
for
at a
Lincoln
certain
Brattle
point
being
if you want to be a
cocktail
witch or
and
Yes, you can.
But you can basically
You
combine
can-
everything.
Yeah, you
into,
can combine everything you want. Yeah,
Till next time.
it does not assume gender in this.
You've drawn
In this game.
Sebastian. He's strong competition.
You guys work for
Well done.
MSI? Well, work is a great word, but yeah, we try. We try for MSI. That is true. I've never seen a gym in Hogwarts. But they do have sports. They do have Quidditch.
How do they stay so slim then?
I don't know. Magic. It's all magic.
Maybe they don't have pizza either. What was that?
That was a ghost.
Oh, it was a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and ghosts are friendly in Hogwarts.
Do they have an elevator as
Or
well?
most of them.
I'm already. That's how they stay slim. Just walking all those stairs.
Mm. Magic casting is good cardio. Shall we do another giveaway, maybe?
Yeah, sounds good.
Behind
Yeah.
you.
All right. Let me
There is an open seat here.
pull out a new winner. There you go.
Hello.
So make
I am
sure to
Nettie.
participate if you haven't done so.
So you are the new student.
MSI.com/insider or the
Have
direct
you
link
met
to Gleam
Professor Ronan yet?
that our bot will put in the Twitch and the YouTube chat once every 5 minutes.
Shall we begin?
If the link's working right now, I think it is.
Yeah. we hope
Now,
so.
This will be a crucial year
great.
in your
Congratulations,
education on the art of
Daring
charm
B.
work.
You
But
also
I
won
am
a Steam
confident
wallet code, so please
that
keep
you
an
will
eye
take
out in your
home
mailbox
with
and
a
we will
passion
email it to
and
you
rigor
in the coming
requisite
days
of
with some
such
instructions
a
on how to redeem
challenge.
it.
Right, now everyone, please open
Congrats.
your textbooks.
Congrats.
Page 517. But before we begin,
Oh yeah, this
anyone
class.
here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone?
Color change and growth
Anyone?
charms.
I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all.
That's an interesting teacher.
You all spent your holidays practicing oblivion
Very
to one
jolly.
another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take.
So he's probably gonna teach me another spell, right? I would assume.
I don't know, Michiel. Maybe just play the game, you know? I don't want to spoil anything. No idea.
Yeah. But I already know that one, how to lift stuff.
Yes, you do.
Miss Dale, thank you. Get into place now.
You can now finally lift something. Go to the gym and just lift weights with a spell.
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah. Imagine being at the gym deadlifting like 180 kilograms and then some skinny nerd is right beside you with pink eyebrows. Just lifting twice the weight with a spell and his wand.
So this one basically just lures an item towards you.
A lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here.
There are also some there's also some stuff around Hogwarts that has some symbols on it, like some statues and paintings and other stuff that might correspond with some of your spells that you learn along the way. And there you can, you know, collect. There's collectibles, there's rooms you can open, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do with the spells. It gets pretty creative. It's quite fun. You also have some spells that can throw somebody to the ground, for example. So if you lift someone up with the spell and you can throw them to the ground again, then it's like extra damage because it's like a cool combo. But you don't have that yet. I don't think we'll get that today, but yeah, there's cool combinations that are possible. The more spells you unlock, the more combos you can do. It's quite fun. Combat is pretty good. This is actually a pretty hard one. I'm curious on how you do.
That was interesting. Can I learn that spell too?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so... Oh, so now I have spell 1, 2, and 4. Okay. Okay.
Excellent control there. Splendid.
Okay, so I have to get it as far as possible, but don't drop it over, right?
Yes.
Looking at the scores on the...
But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues just as before, and Miss Onai, you are
Master Docs, all this information should be in the terms and conditions of the Gleam giveaway.
Yeah, it is correct. Some reasons we cannot include because of certain laws in those regions in the giveaway. So what I can do is just drag this ball off here, right?
Technically, yeah, maybe. Try it.
Let me see, it was 4. Oh, oops. So I should just smack all those balls off and make sure that on the last one I score at least 1 point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. There we go. So this is always easier if you start last, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh, I should have hit it harder. But after this I can do that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is how it's done.
50 FPS right now.
There we go. Oh, that was not hard enough. So now I lost.
Yes, you did.
I should have just smacked the balls off.
That's what she said.
Let us make this a bit more interesting.
Yeah, outside you indeed see that the FPS
Yeah,
It's
I think it will drop
significantly
a
lower
little bit
than
more
inside.
in Hogsmeade even. Oh, you can do it again? Oh, nice.
Oh no, it has blocks in it now.
Yep.
Okay.
At this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter.
Can I just annoy this
Focus
person?
now, you will need it.
I don't know.
This round settles it all.
Or lift that person with my other spell? Oh.
Oh.
Oh. That was interesting. Okay. I want that one. Oh.
That's still fine. This one is pretty tricky.
Let us
Oh.
see this.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Fall off.
Excellent control there.
So now you're
So
even.
close. Oh, wait. If I stand here,
That is how it's done.
You're gonna combo it?
I'm gonna try to.
Well,
Did I
It's a
now
draw.
win? Or is it a draw?
I think it is.
Oh, yeah, it's a
tied.
draw. But I was further. Why don't I get the edge then?
Very good, both of you. Well done.
The graphics look great for a mid-tier build. Yeah, I agree. Doesn't look too bad at all.
Yeah, so I agree. Still very.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
And still also 1440p, so also very decent resolution. Of course, you can only watch it in 60 because we're broadcasting in it, or in 1080p, 1080p 60, but I'm playing at 1440p 240, but I'm not reaching 240 FPS, of course.
It gets easier, I promise.
I'm holding my own, of
Thank
course.
you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before.
So which house is red?
My mother
Gryffindor.
received
Oh, this
an
is
offer to
Gryffindor.
teach
Yes.
divination here.
So green is Slytherin, red is
We had left
Gryffindor,
Uganda and
blue
were
is
halfway around
Ravenclaw,
the world
Yellow is
at a
Hufflepuff.
new
and yellow is
new
Hufflepuff, okay.
country.
Well, it's been nice talking and competing with you.
It looks like you had a cat at home.
Ah, I think Professor
At
Rowan
some
wants
point.
to talk to you. Better
big
not
one.
keep him waiting.
Okay.
Until next time.
You haven't seen your face? This is a
Yeah,
couple
I
of
have like
scratches
a-
on it.
It's a cat. It's a very big cat.
You'd be using it for clothing, to be precise, Sebastian.
I think maybe a lion or something.
Yeah.
Hey, let me see. Talk to Professor Ronan.
A word, if you would.
You
Ronan,
wanted
my
to
man.
speak with me, Professor.
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation.
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What's
So,
charm
it was
is
a cat
there
with
in
3
the
feet.
expected?
Or 3
And what
nails.
a close match between
Only.
you and Miss Onai. Invigorating.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum.
Oh,
Expect to hear from me soon
extracurricular
regarding
activities.
a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Yeah, so basically, you follow the story, right? You're a 5th year, so you're not
Yeah,
coming
I did
in
follow.
in your 1st year. So you have to catch up.
Ah.
How was your first day coming along?
Oh, there was the guy hugging his books again.
Yeah. I think I have to look at my map again, right?
So that's a fast travel point you just saw.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, side quests available.
Wait. This is one.
Yes.
You can't
So you don't have to be there, but you can go to one of those
Ah,
if
okay,
you've
okay, yeah,
if
yeah.
you've passed it. I don't know if you unlocked the fast
Yeah.
traveling already, but yeah,
Get here.
there you go. You figured it out.
Nice. Yeah, I got the glow around it, so I figured I could do something with it.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, cat. Aw, that's a cute cat. Always make sure to pet the cat. Oh, another one!
You're gonna be. You're gonna take longer, I think, if you do
yeah,
this.
so many cats in the game.
Longer than me with the playthrough.
Okay,
there's a lot of cats in the game.
See. Oh, I can put my navigation on.
Yeah, so maybe let's see if we can go to Hogsmeade already. Oh no, we can't. I don't think so. You have to go outside somehow. Parkour.
Nice. Can I jump over this? Ah,
nope.
Shortcut doesn't work. Okay, I have to go here. Down here.
You were all the way upstairs.
So many stairs. Oh, I have to walk around this. You see, once I'm outside, it immediately dips on a cat underneath 60 FPS. Hey, the FPS is better when you pet the cat.
Hey, let's go. Pet cat for FPS boost.
It's like the new RGB.
What about the room, Professor?
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did.
Is this the principal?
I heard as much from Professor
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Seems Professor Fig taught you quite a bit before you arrived.
Or at least the one that's responsible for helping you, mostly, and showing you around.
Isn't there?
I don't think she's the actual school head. There is a school head in the game, and that's not her.
Nothing more, Professor.
I see.
Headmaster.
Trying to get a sonnet from
I just continue lying to this woman.
Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors.
Mr. Messler says DLSS question mark. Yeah, once we're outside, let's try out a couple of different settings. More work?
I'm not sure I have time for extra assignments, Professor.
You shall find the time. You'd be astonished to know just how much you don't know. In fact,
did she just call me stupid, by the way?
I think so. Did you just say I'm stupid?
Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace
Professor
the
Weasley.
supplies lost on your way here, including seeds.
It's funny because she might just be family of the Weasleys in the movies. Because they're also called the Weasleys. There's a family in the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, so she might be their ancestors or something.
To be far superior.
There's a lot of naming references in the game.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Which I can imagine for real big fans, it's quite cool.
Oh, so now I get to go to Hogsmeade.
Help you get your bearings.
Yeah.
Perhaps Sebastian Sallow or MSI Insiders. I've noticed you spending time with them.
Let's do Natty.
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students. And she knows the area. She'll keep you well clear of any of Victor Rookwood's undesirables en route.
Rookwood?
A rather unsavory.
I heard games were struggling on computers with 3080s, but maybe because of the drivers were not optimized yet. No, you're not wrong.
Depends a bit on the settings. Like rasterization performance on a 3080 is still really good, but once you switch ray tracing on, cards that have below 12 gigs of VRAM usually start to struggle. Okay, let's receive your first assignment. Okay.
Oh, you missed a cat.
Oh, hello, cat.
Michiel is the cat guy.
Always pet the cat. Can I also get my own cat in this game?
I'm not sure. You can get animals.
There you are.
Or magical beasts.
Oh, I have to report to Professor Ronan.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor.
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo.
Oh, the Reparo I
Fixes
saw in the
things right
tutorial
up.
for the
Yes.
bridge that was broken.
Object good as
Yes.
new in the blink of an eye.
It's a very good one.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells.
Would be nice in
outside
real
of
life.
class in an effort
I think
to
this is
catch
the
you up
one
with
spell
your
I would
peers.
want,
A
Reparo.
number of your
I can break anything I
If you
want.
crash your car, Reparo.
Yep,
I
Reparo.
ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today.
Maybe there's a secret you can unlock by
And
petting
then
all
report back
cats.
to
You
me.
have unlocked the
We
OCD
will have you
achievement.
casting
I will
out
definitely
in
get that
no
achievement.
time.
Michiel will get it first for sure.
I'll
Easily.
start on the task right away, Professor.
Ah,
Revelio.
there you go. Another scroll.
Okay.
And another 80 XP.
This is the right area. I wonder where the
Um,
flying is.
Oh,
Accio.
Get it.
Got it.
there's a broken statue in front of you. Maybe you should use Reparo.
But I don't have it yet.
Oh, you don't have it yet? Okay, never mind.
I think it has to go in slot number 3.
Cat.
Hello,
Flying
cat.
cage must be around here somewhere.
Cat alert. Isn't that the same cat that was just outside, waiting inside for you now?
Maybe. I'll just bet it again. Okay.
It's good that we don't have an office
Oh.
cat, because you would be distracted
Yeah.
all the time. That's the same cat.
Yeah, I'll just bet it again. It's such a cute cat.
Does it remind you of one of yours?
Saul says there are cats all over the map and I've been petting every single one. I'm hoping I get an achievement for it.
Nice.
There better be an achievement for that.
Preliminary tasks.
I completed the assignment.
It will be
Professor.
cool if
Marvelous.
every time you
You
pet a
clearly
cat,
know
it
your
moves
way
to a
around
different
basic
location.
charms. Let us
And then
give
if you
you
follow it
mending charm a try
and
then,
pet it
shall
every
we?
time, then it
Remember
brings you to like
be
some secret
deliberate in your
loot or
enunciation
something.
and movements. I want to see some vigor.
Chat
Now,
is saying on
one
YouTube
at
chat,
the
can't
ready.
decide if I
Yes,
should
sir.
bother with this game on PC. I only got a 3600 with
Remember,
5700
your
XT
wand
Gaming
is
X.
a conduit
You
of
can definitely
knowledge.
run it on that combination. Just play with your settings a little bit. Make sure, of course, not to run it on extremely high resolution and the highest settings. But yeah, you can definitely play it on that.
You can even have a pretty decent experience, I think.
Yeah, it's a decent CPU. It's a decent graphics card.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
That's it. Very good. If you would like to practice
There we
mending
go.
something, have a go with that broken statue. in
Oh,
the
he was still
alcove by
explaining
the
that I
water.
had to do that.
It allegedly symbolized heartbreak. Perhaps a jilted lover thought it
Okay, okay.
accurate and lashed out.
How long
No.
before you send out the giveaways? It depends on how busy we are, Lord Caliban. Usually within a couple of days, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
I always try to do it before the weekend. Oh, that side. I like those small details everywhere. Those elements.
Yeah, they have a lot of that. It's quite cool.
Okay, let's go here.
I love how you just slam open doors everywhere you go.
I hope I haven't kept you waiting long.
Not at all. Professor Weasley tells me that you need to go to Hogsmeade. You must be eager to have your own things again.
Dark
And
Lord of
to see the
Caliban,
village.
when did you win the giveaway?
looking
Because
forward
I
to
think
it.
everything
Good.
should have
Shall
been
we
sent
sit
out
down?
already from earlier
I intend to
giveaways,
give you
at least
the
from
first
this
great
live stream.
Hogsmeade experience.
Maybe not from last week yet. Did you win last week, Lord Caliban?
I think those were even sent out on the same day, so people could already, because we also had some codes for the game itself last week. so people could already play in the early access because there were the deluxe edition codes.
A few shows back. Okay. If you can just send an email, Lord Caliban, to our product marketing email. Is that in the description somewhere, Michiel?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
I planned to extend an invitation to you myself. I thought you might enjoy a buttery in the village. The timing
I have
of
to
the
see what the email is
festival
again.
was perfect.
Do you know by heart what the email is?
I cannot tell you how nice it is to breathe fresh air after being cooped up in ancient rooms.
Or maybe just send a
Really
direct
safe
message to
to
the
take it as an elected
MSI
task,
Gaming Twitch
believe me.
channel. Should also work.
Though I suppose you would not
Who gets
really
that
call
message
it
though?
elective
I will.
when your
Oh, you will?
mother was
Okay.
the one who elected that you take it.
Yeah, we can check it for you, just not
Hogsmeade
right
is
now, but
beautiful
we
this
will
time
check
of
it
year.
definitely for you.
Everyone will tell you to visit at
Caliban.
Christmas. But that's one of the few times of year I would rather be indoors.
Oh, they send you an email to declaim the email you provided. Okay.
Oh, I do not mind the cold so much, but it has taken some getting used to. I did not grow up around snow. Oh, wait, over here. I often spot lacewing flies in this area.
Oh, what's so
Oh,
special
I can
about
collect
them?
stuff.
They are interesting to look at.
Oh yes.
But
It
if
reminds
you
me of
see them, you
Elden
can
Ring.
also
You
use
also
them
had
in
to
bush.
collect all those things in the bushes. Okay. She's a lot faster than I am. Go
For
for a
now.
shortcut.
Look, from the forbidden forest. Hippogriffs.
Shortcut.
I wonder if something started them. I heard rumors that hippogriffs had been spotted nearby.
Mushrooms.
Are they magic mushrooms?
Yeah, I don't know if you can eat them.
Should be in this game, right?
They should be. It's a magical game after all.
Crab tooth and sugarfoot.
Oh.
Oh.
How do I jump on this? It's difficult.
I guess you can't.
I can't?
No, apparently not.
No. Oh, okay.
Ah, nice.
That's the forbidden
You did it.
forest on the
Parkour.
left. It's off limits to
Oh.
students, as the name implies.
Oh.
It's quite difficult to run on it.
The professors claim it is too dangerous. I think that calling it forbidden only makes it more alluring. Ah, there's Hogsmeade over the crest. Past that ruin.
You can pretty much go everywhere you
I think this is maybe a good spot to fiddle around with settings a little bit and see what it does.
you're gonna go to Hogsmeade right now, so maybe that's... I don't know if you want
But
to
there
go...
everything is heavy, right? I want to
Yeah.
play around with the foliage and as well
Oh,
a
right,
little bit.
okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Let's maybe see what kind of effects we get from which settings. So this is, now we're running it at ultra. Let's see all the way down to low if we see a lot of difference.
Well, I certainly learned
Yeah, that's a big
great deal in
difference.
class. Much can be gleaned
You already see much less foliage. I'm losing a lot of detail also in the code. Let's switch some higher one by one. Let's maybe start with some higher textures. Let's go for high. So the game recommended medium settings for this card, but I think it can do a little bit better than that. Okay, we have some textures, but
Very
still
nice
not really the
FPS now,
code.
though.
Okay, this is the quality of particle effects. Okay, visual effects. That's the one that we put here probably. So the quality of these, I would assume. Or is that this one maybe? Yeah, that's this one, the post-process quality.
Yeah, they have weird names for everything in this game.
I'm curious what they mean with the visual effects. Maybe like the spells you're casting, could be. Let's have
It's
a try.
probably spell casting and stuff like that, yeah.
Material quality, let's also go with. Do I now get the code in detail again? No, I don't see a huge difference there. Textures are a lot better now with that setting on high. Let's do the sky. You're not looking at the sky too much, and it's volumetric, so probably has quite a bit of impact. Fog, same thing. Let's put those to medium. And foliage, let's put it to high and see if we get some more grass and bushes again. Yeah, that's already a lot more. Okay, sky is still quite okay in terms of quality, I think. Set to medium now. And depth of field, let's set that to medium as well. Shadow to medium. View distance I should be a little bit better, especially if you're running through these kind of woods. You want to also have proper.
And you're going to be flying in the future soon and stuff, so you want some
population quality, set the quality of non-essential NPCs and create creatures in the world. Impact CPU performance. We have quite a decent CPU, so let's go for high. The very modern i5. Okay, so now we're around 80 FPS. And let's maybe try to enable DLSS. That's underneath this one. So this, of course, only shows up if you're using an NVIDIA graphics card. If you're using an AMD graphics card, FSR2 is like the equivalent. If you're using NVIDIA, you can choose between both of them. I believe Intel also supports FSR because it's open source, and DLSS is specifically NVIDIA. And here you can see the actual render resolution once you run DLSS. This is on auto, so with balanced it's slightly lower. For example, performance it will be even lower. But I'm going to go for quality, so it's like 2/3 of the actual resolution. And then of course it's being upscaled. And of course, because you're actually rendering a lower resolution, you will lose a little bit of sharpness, so it can look a little bit blurry. So we're going to increase that a little bit. I'm putting this to 50. I would say if you go over this, it looks like over sharpened. I don't think that looks very good anymore. Around 50 looks quite okay in DLSS, I think. The rest, I think we'll keep for now in terms of the settings. So these are the settings we have right now here. So a little bit of mix of medium and high. So a bit higher than what the game would give me by default. And
shall we do another giveaway as well?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Go for it.
So guys, if you're you're still eligible for one of the giveaways, as you see above. You can go to msi.com/2/insider, or you can click the links that are spammed by the bots in the chats for YouTube and Twitch. You can win a Steam code pretty much every week, or sometimes some games. And we will draw winners throughout the stream, so this is not your last chance to win.
The game gets angry at me because I didn't follow.
Yep. Yeah, normally that would be okay, but now you're doing a beginner's quest, so.
More magic mushrooms.
More magic mushrooms. Let me draw a winner.
So frame rate is quite a bit higher now with DLSS enabled, settings optimized a little bit.
Does it feel smoother?
Yeah, it feels smoother, definitely. Like these frame rates are comparable to what we had inside the castle with the previous settings, but once you went outside, it dropped quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit over 60, sometimes even dipping below, and now we're over 90, 80, 90 FPS. Plays very well right now.
Yeah, let's see when you get to Hogsmeade. So the next winner of the giveaway is Dutch guy Limburg. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Run. Is everything all right, sir?
Oh, it looked right at me. Eyes big as saucers.
What did Mr. Moon?
Jelly guys. Lumos. Ugly and airy and terrifying.
Probably doesn't make much of a difference here, right? The Lumos one.
No. It's already light enough.
Poor Mr. Moon.
Aw.
Aww.
I tried to pick the person up, but it doesn't work.
I will say that I have never seen him in such a state.
That's Moonstone. You need to collect that for later.
Oh. Oh, that's not very useful.
Yep.
Okay.
Just a basic attack is fine.
Nearly there. There is much to see outside of the castle walls, not just Hogsmeade.
Does DLSS make it easier in the GPU but make it harder on the CPU?
Yes, because basically with DLSS you're lowering the actual rendering resolution of your GPU, and because of that it's running more frames, and that makes it harder on the CPU. So indeed, DLSS will increase the load on your CPU, and it can decrease a little bit on the GPU, but probably it will still max out on the GPU, it will just render more frames.
That's how you will get an email in the next couple of days, likely, or in the next week, within the next week for sure, with your codes.
Okay, so Hogsmeade is definitely more demanding, because we're dropping to a little over 60 FPS.
Yep.
But actually I'm quite happy with that. So with these settings, they're quite a bit higher than what the game would give me by default, if you would run default settings with this system. But you still get over 60 FPS on average easily, even in Hogsmeade.
That's quite good actually.
Of course.
I expected it to drop to like 40 or something.
And I am keen to see what you will do with a wand of your own. You should be able to collect everything you need and still have time to explore.
And this is with DLSS quality setting on?
Yes, this is quality setting. Nice. So basically the highest resolution within DLSS.
Enjoy yourself. I will see you soon.
So the render resolution is still like 2/3 of the actual resolution, and the other settings are lower than that. Let me see. Oh, that's fancy. I like that. Oh, this is really cool. Okay. Where's the bar?
Instantly wants to go to the bar.
Of course.
I think that's a bar.
It's a clothing shop.
Oh, it's a clothing shop.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's a hat. I thought it was a cup.
Oh yeah, me too. It's actually a cup, yeah. I think the stars are bars or something. A pub, see?
Ah, nice.
Yes.
I want to go here.
Let's go to the pub.
Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's... Huh? It's this one. It's a big bar.
Mm-hmm.
And once you run in, 100 plus FPS.
Yep. That tells you a little bit on how they've programmed it though. It's nice.
Yeah, Hogsmeade is much more intensive than the other scenes I've been in so far. Where can I get a beer?
I don't know if you can. You're a child.
No. I'm probably like 100 years old, but because of magic I look very young.
Maybe at the bar? Or is this one of those bars that still has a quest ready for you that you haven't played for yet? So maybe the bartender's not here.
Can I grab one of these bottles? Repairer. Oh no, that's repairing? Wait. No, I cannot grab one.
Unfortunately not.
Too bad.
Hog's Head is the only proper bar, but it's sketchy as hell. You'll want the 3 broomsticks. This is the 3 broomsticks, right? Where we are now. They have butterbeer. I think we haven't played far enough yet for the bartender to be unlocked. Maybe she's been kidnapped or something, and we need to save her.
Maybe it's the bartender DLC later on. Oh, cat.
Cat. It's the same cat.
I'm pressing F. Pet the cat.
F.
Hello?
F's in the chat for cat.
Yeah. I cannot pet the cat. I think because I have to visit some people and that's my assignment.
You have wasted all your cat credit.
I think so. I can only pet a certain number of cats, I think. Where do I find the things I see on the left of my screen? I would expect
you can go to the map and mark things, and then you can.
Yeah, but I don't see like the yellow thingies.
What, the quest line?
No, it's not really a quest. I have to meet people.
Yeah, so you can see the logos behind the little on the left above your map. You can see the logos that you need to look for on the map.
Oh,
basically.
okay. That makes sense. So this is one. I like the navigation function. That makes my life a lot easier, especially inside the castle. Otherwise, it's impossible to find things.
Pardon me, sir. I'm here for the spellcrafts Professor Weasley ordered.
Jer also says you hit your padding quota for the day.
I thought I might be seeing you soon. I am the proprietor here.
Why pet if you can zap
Thomas
them?
Brown.
Can you lift the cats up, maybe?
I'm afraid I haven't yet.
I don't think so, because they don't glow up.
But
Ah.
you will soon enough. It is
That's
magic
unfortunate.
at its purest, creating something out of nothing. Of course, it is not without complexity, but that is where my spellcrafts come in. Stay the course, and you could soon impress even Professor Weasley.
That's certainly something to aspire to, Mr. Brown. I look forward to that day.
And
What did you do with it? I
see
can't hear
it.
the sound. What did you do with your voice? Is it like really high, really low?
It's low.
Custom
Oh, it's low,
pieces of
okay.
furniture or decoration.
I think it was like the
I
lowest
shall let
one I could
Professor
pick in the game.
Weasley. For now, let's get this.
And remember, you're still a kid.
A potting table and a potion station. Yes?
I believe so, sir.
Good. Nothing like being able to grow your own ingredients and brew what
Thomas
you
Brown
want
is quite a talker.
when you want. Let's have a look. Let's look at what we have, shall we?
Okay. Oh. So I can get this stuff for free. Nice.
Some of them, the quest items usually.
Feel free
Yeah.
to take a look around at the rest.
The
of
rest
my
is all too
inventory.
expensive for me, because I don't have any money. I have stuff to sell as well. It's barely worth
Yeah, you
anything.
can change your clothes actually. Maybe you should look into that. You can look even funnier. If
But
you
I
can-
don't have the money to buy other stuff yet.
No, you might have some.
Do I do that here?
Yeah, you can. Press escape.
Oh, you can just do it at any point.
You can see gear, maybe? Is the gear thing unlocked? Yeah. And then hover over the clothing and then press F. See?
Okay, nice.
And then click it. I think you can change appearance. Yeah, there you go.
I like that one.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
Oh wait, that's the one I had.
Yeah. Put a hat on.
Sweet.
And then
Where did my
hover it
afro
and press
go?
F. Hover the hat and press F. Yeah. Press F. There you go.
Oh, I got different. Nice. Oh, I like this one. Sweet. It's basically coat on or coat off.
Yeah.
Let's do it off.
Well, you can customize it if you put it on.
And
Oh,
then
you
run
just gotta
around in
go in
my
your
underwear.
pajamas.
Nice.
That works. Just go in your PJs.
Nice, I like it.
Which difficulty did you actually select?
Easy.
Easy, okay.
So like the second easiest one, because there was also story,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was medium hard, but with my very limited Harry Potter knowledge, I thought I'll stick to easy for now.
Yeah. Yeah, I played it on normal for a while, but it was quite challenging actually.
Oh, I found
on
money.
normal.
Okay, now I have to go to the next one.
Always good to dress like you escaped the mental institute. Oh yeah, good point.
Ah, here's one. Where's the door? Ah.
Merlin, blooming beard, not again.
I'll be right with. Ah, it's you. Just a moment, please.
Hello, sir. I'm looking for
For a new wand, yes.
Oh,
It's
new
about
wand.
Time.
Yes,
About
Yes, sir.
time.
Well, you're our new fifth-year student, are you not? Oh, what am I
What's the
saying?
name of the Harry Potter model?
Ollivander's the name. But of
There's an
course,
achievement to
you'll
flip
have
cows
heard
in the game.
I'm sure.
That is awesome.
In the world.
I haven't found that out yet.
Pleasure to meet
Nice.
you, truly. Now, come with me. Let's find you the perfect one, shall we? No, not you.
Oh?
I want a wand with RGB.
RGB wand, yes.
Yeah. And Mystic Light support.
That would
of
be
course.
nice. I think they actually have a wand that shoots like a piece of paper or something that actually shoots fire.
Okay.
That looks pretty cool.
Well, go ahead, swish.
And it looks illegal.
How odd. Once more.
Let me search for it.
Really swish it. Oh dear. Well, this
It's
isn't
kind of
much at all,
RGB.
is it?
Yeah.
We'll find you something, not to worry. No, not you. Perhaps. Yes. A rare wood, 13 3/4 inches, dragon heartstring. Let's give this one a try.
That's the paper one.
Yeah.
Looks like it's back to the shelf for you.
That's awesome.
This is proving to be trickier than I had anticipated. How perplexing. Where are you? Perhaps you? There you
Stick
are.
needs RGB and Wi-Fi.
Well, it looks like a Wi-Fi antenna, so
It
it should have
does,
that
it
by
does,
default, right?
yeah.
Yes. I think you might be the one. Here.
I think you can choose your own Wi-Fi antenna now. So expensive.
How can I check this out? Should
Go
I
to the-
purchase this or not?
On the top, you can press E. Yeah.
Oh, I can. I can get variations.
Yes, sir. Not that it matters much. And I think you should only look at the top section of your wand because you can get covers for it later on the bottom section, so you won't see the bottom section.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So you can still customize the bottom section.
Curious indeed.
Make it ridiculously short or long.
14.5 inches. That sounds familiar.
How intriguing.
Reasonably supple. Okay.
Whoa, what's
Dragon
this?
heartstring, unicorn hair, or phoenix feather.
I got unicorn hair.
As you do.
Curious indeed.
Compensating for something?
How intriguing.
Spiral one is pretty cool. I like this one.
Oh, that's nice.
Curious indeed.
Unyielding large 14.5 inch wand. Dew wand.
Just all the sliders all the way to the right. Okay, we had that one. Yeah, this one's perfect. Purchase.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, Neil says. Is this game capable on a
Hello, Neil,
3060
welcome,
Ti? Well, we are playing on a 3060 Ti, so
Yeah.
it is. For sure, yeah, as you can see.
Depending on your settings, of course. If we're going to play 4K resolution, ray tracing enabled, then no. But on 1440p, ray tracing disabled, we now have DLSS on quality mode, and most settings to medium or high. Very well playable so far.
Different. I sense the sort of surge.
Have they patched the game? I've read there's a lot of problems with the PC port. They have
I haven't experienced
They
that
have
many
brought out a
problems.
patch very recently. I don't know, there were some bug fixes in it, but not specifically to a PC port that I'm aware of.
And you shall
But
find no
yeah.
more dependable a wand than one with a unicorn hair core. And the bond between you and your wand should only
Do you
grow
consider
stronger.
GTX
Do not be
1650 as
surprised
mid-range?
with your new wand's ability to
Nowadays,
perceive
no,
your
not anymore.
intentions,
1650 is more like entry level in terms of dedicated graphics cards.
I'll let you get to it. Do come and see me again if ever I can be of further assistance.
They sell a lot of wands on Amazon.
But do they work in real life?
I don't know. The one that actually shoots paper is 90 euros. Anyway.
Oh, I don't get any different effects from this fancier one. Do we want to try the maxed out settings on a 3060 Ti to see what it does in Hogsmeade? So that should be quite intense. We do need to reboot the game, by the way. If
Maximum as in highest resolution?
Highest resolution, ray tracing fully enabled.
Is that possible? Because we only have a 4040p screen.
Yeah, basically the highest resolution we can pick on this screen, of course. So it will be 1440p.
Yeah, let's do it. In Hogsmeade?
Yeah, let's try that.
All right.
Looking at the earlier benchmarks, this shouldn't really be playable anymore.
So then DLSS on or off?
No, we're gonna switch DLSS off. We're gonna try to make it as demanding as possible. Let's see, upscale none, okay, that's all fine. These are still, well, motion blur are still annoying, so still gonna switch that off. Filmic effects don't really do a lot for the performance, so let's keep those off as well. But this one, let's put it to ultra. And let's switch this on, because these do make, especially this, makes a huge difference in terms of how hard it is to render. And then it will say I have to restart the game. So
let's do that.
Quickly switch to this one and I'll restart. And this is a very good moment to do another giveaway.
Aha! Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have another winner soon. So we're doing a giveaway, as you can see over there. I was pointing in the wrong direction.
No, I'm just struggling with the book a little bit, because I have to exit the game through the book now.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. You can't just Alt F4 it, can you? So the giveaway's still going. I think we'll do another one after this. So you can win some Steam credit. You can participate by joining the actions on Gleam with the link in the description of the YouTube page and the link in from the bot that has been spammed by Stream Elements. And if you can't find it, you can always go to msi.com/2/insider and find it there. So yeah, good luck. We've drawn another winner. Congratulations, Mairika, or Raika.
Mairika, congrats.
Sorry for butchering your name, if I did. But yeah, congratulations, you've won some Steam credit.
Let me go back to the game. It is currently preparing some shaders.
Ooh. I can already see the FPS is great.
Yeah, but this is just a loading screen and a menu. I want to see it in Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
Okay.
It's not as bad as I expected, though. But let's run around a little bit.
Oh.
Oh, you see some serious FPS drops now.
Some serious dips, yeah.
And this is what you see basically with most cards that have limited VRAM. Yeah, you really get drops underneath 20 FPS now. And this is, of course, maximum settings, ray tracing on ultra as well, not just enabled, but also the highest setting.
Interesting, I expected lower, to be honest.
Yeah, like the... But still, this is not a pleasant gaming experience, especially if you have the drops.
Reflections in the water, ray tracing. Interesting.
Mr. Master says, conclusion, the cards were all equipped with too little memory. It depends a little bit on the way you look at it and also on your preferences. In restoration performance, in many situations, you will probably prefer less memory, but a bigger memory bus and maybe faster memory over having more memory. But in this game, like in ray tracing, you definitely see that it becomes too much and you get very big drops. But if you only play in restoration, so if you don't use ray tracing, for example, if you mostly play esports titles or anything like that, or if you care about FPS more than you do about fancy graphics, then it doesn't matter too much, at least at this point.
What happens if you put DLSS on?
Yeah, let's try that. Because I believe I can change all settings without having to reboot, apart from switching on and off ray tracing. Let me see, upscale type DLSS. And let's maybe go for performance now. So we got a 50% render resolution, so it's actually rendering 720p and upscaling to 1440p. And let's do some more sharpness as well. And I see a suggestion, medium settings. I think that's a good suggestion. Let's go for it.
Medium settings, upscaling enabled. Yeah.
And let's maybe also, I hope, let's first apply this. And I hope this also works without rebooting the game. I'm not sure.
Looks like it does.
Okay, it looks like it does. So let's go for medium ray tracing, medium settings, DLSS enabled on performance. It's already a lot better. But still, underneath 60 FPS.
Yeah, just under.
But of course, this is the extreme case within this game. I don't think it gets any harder than Hogsmeade. So probably in all other situations, like for example, if you're in Hogwarts or something, your frame rate will be quite a lot higher than what you're currently seeing. So in case you can live with this FPS in Hogsmeade, then these settings should be okay-ish too. Let's maybe lower them a little bit further. Let's go with low settings and also low ray tracing, and let's put this to ultra performance.
34%.
And this is only 480p, just so you know. So this is a lot lower render resolution. So I'm also going to increase the sharpness a bit to battle the blurriness that you will obviously get from that. Arizon says, you're CPU bottlenecked. No, at this point I'm VRAM bottlenecked. As soon as you put ray tracing on, you're usually VRAM bottlenecked. CPU bottleneck you see when you go for a lower resolution, you switch ray tracing off. That's where you will see some CPU bottlenecks. Here you also see not that much of a difference. It's a little bit higher, a little bit better playable, but it doesn't look too great, I would say.
No, the low settings are not doing it for me.
No.
Kind of loses the magic a little bit. But hey, if you really want ray tracing on and high resolution.
Yeah. Personally, for a 3060 Ti, I would recommend stick to restoration performance. You can play it on really nice settings as long as you keep ray tracing off. If you really want ray tracing, then really basically go for a high-end card, already in 1080p.
I think we have time for one more giveaway, Michiel, and then
I think
we should
that's a good idea, and then let's
off.
call it a day.
Let's see. One more should do it, right?
Yeah, for sure. In the meanwhile, let me quickly announce next week's live stream, because we're going to talk about a new product group for MSI. Well, I shouldn't say new, because I think in a very, very distant past we also had some networking products. But next week we're going to talk about our new MSI Radix gaming router. Maybe you've already seen our announcement at CES, so we've already shown a little bit of the product. Next week we're going to show you a deep dive What does it look like? How does it work? What are the specs? So definitely make sure to join that live stream. Peter will be here to tell you all about it. And then let's have our last winner for the giveaway. Rolf,
the last
honor is all
winner,
yours.
Drum ruffle, is Gungung.
Congratulations, Gungung. You also won a Steam wallet code. So congrats again to all the winners. Please keep an eye out to your mailbox, then we will email the codes to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem it. Okay, thank you so much for joining today. Hope to see you again next week, same place, same time, with Peter. I'm not sure who will be there. Probably either Ralph or me.
Probably one of us.
Yeah, probably one of us. Not sure yet who, but hope to see you then at least. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.